Hey everyone, this is Manly Bastard, and welcome back to Vanilla Garden of Judgement. Previously, we completed Chapter 2, where we sent one of our friends off in some kind of weird spiriting away after their big reveal. I had the same dream as before. A dream that welled away my very core. It's my fault. A girl whispered this alone in the darkness. Her head lowered in grief, tears poured down her cheeks. She wept openly. Emotions burst from her more than I'd ever seen. Sorry. I'm sorry. I hurt you. Don't go. You can't go there. The girl broke out into a walk. I chased her in a hurry. Everything went by in slow motion. She kept moving forward. I followed her, paced slow. My body drenched itself in sweat. If I let her go, I would regret all over again. I couldn't lose the most important thing to me again. I knew that she was important. More important than my own life. She was so incredibly important to me. I couldn't remember her name, but I knew that much. No matter how hard I struggled, I couldn't reach her. Why? Why? Determined, I reached my hand out, but my hand came up empty. After all, this was the past. This was a far-off memory of mine. I knew it in my head. This hand of mine wouldn't have been able to grab anything. Not then. Not now. Way to be a downer. My hands fruitlessly grasped air. Nothing. There was nothing left. I knew that it was too late. I knew it all. It's because I knew that this sadness weighed like a rock in my stomach. I was aware of the fact I was a fool. I knew that I could never go back to that moment. It was too late to regret. I didn't want to see such a thing after all this. Would you go out with me? I was on the school roof. It was one of those common scenes. The kind where you suddenly receive a love confession. Who are you? Hey, wait. I'm trying to figure out if you're not Lilith, are you? With different hair color? I don't think so. Who knows? I mean, people can dye their hair. It was clear that I wasn't being teased or led on, because it was me. I was pretty, and I had a nice body. I wasn't even wearing a lot of makeup. I had a good base, so I covered up. I lived in a completely different world than the rest of the uglies. I knew best that I was the cutest. That was why being confessed to by boys wasn't anything new. I wouldn't get surprised. I couldn't remember how many boys I had gone out with. Essentially, I was a natural heartbreaker. It happened a month into attending college. I was always bored. I'd just broken up with the guy I was with at the time, and I just cut ties with my sugar daddy. I was wondering where I'd find someone I could conveniently use. I didn't have to search to find one, though. It was around that time that I stumbled upon a flyer for the videography club. The media was picking apart films and making them too, I guess. It was obviously boring. If I was honest, I didn't care in the least about video, especially not making videos. That stuff just sounded like a pain in the ass. But I had the time, so I decided to join on a whim. I could stop going if it was too boring. And when I showed up, all the club members were dudes. Dude. Basically, I was the only girl. The club didn't have any lookers, but I wasn't prejudiced against those who gave me attention. That's what was in my mind at the time, anyway. And straight away I got my first confession. Okay, let's go out. I happily gave him a yes. I mean, I didn't have a boyfriend or a sugar daddy, so I thought it was I'd give him a shot. Really? Thank you. I'm so happy. I didn't think I could date a girl as pretty as you. Ooh, that's the wrong thing to say. Well then, can I call you by your first name? Riri? Yeah, call me however you want. The guy, surprised, flushed his ugly face and got shy. He must have been really happy to go out with me. He was like a kid. It was too funny. Ignoring the rejoicing ugly beside me, I was thinking about how he had to be a virgin. Something stupid like that. He was so low level to be over the moon just dating me. Virgins were so pitiful, I thought. I feel like it has to be Lilith, right? You don't really quite look exactly like Lilith. I don't just mean the blonde hair. Although the eyes... It was breakfast time. Lilith, Soyo, and me. None of us said a word. A silence surrounded the entire room we were in. Seema wasn't here. Not anywhere in this castle. Soyo and Lilith seemed shocked at that reality. They searched for her in a hurry, faces ashen. They looked around for her last night too, but they weren't able to. It was the obvious response. After suddenly losing the person who held everyone together, they wouldn't be surprised if they were shaken. She had been the mood maker here. It was an easy conclusion that Soyo and Lilith both liked her, but not each other. A nervous atmosphere had overtaken the castle with her gone. It felt as if we'd lost something that held us together. The two of them didn't know I was the cause of it all. My crime has gone unnoticed. Just where has Seema gone to? Without Seema, I feel uneasy. It was Soyo who broke the long silence. With an anxious expression, she spoke at a table. Even with Seema gone, we'll still keep living on as usual. You get that, right? There was no kindness in their conversation. I felt more forms in Love's speech than normal. The silence blanketed us all. I couldn't say a thing. If I set my mouth even a little, would the girls suspect me and look down on me? What will happen to us from now on? Will we disappear as well? Oh, come on. Shut up and quit brooding. If you think you're the only one sad here, you're wrong as hell. Lilith rose her voice and stood, annoyed at Soyo's whisperings to herself. I'm uneasy too. I'm sad that Seema's gone too. Now I even know what this place is and why we're here. We're just gonna disappear in a world we don't understand while not knowing anything. Just like Seema. Hopefully not involving choking me out. My apologies. I'm sorry. You're mistaken. I did not mean to. Both Soyo and I instinctively shrunk at Lilith's anger. But I had to muster the courage. I had to step in. For some reason I felt that way. I had to protect Soyo from the irrational jeering. I had to. If I didn't, I'd... You said too much, Lilith. What? Blanco. You gonna side with her? Ah, okay, I'm the villain here. Isn't that right? Lilith grew into more hysterics than my words. Of course that happened. I threw grease onto the fire. But I didn't regret trying to stop her. Please stop. I'm begging you. Blanco isn't at fault. Whatever, I don't care anymore. You guys can play house by yourselves. Lilith, led by her anger, shouted at us and left the room. After her exit, a silence like the aftermath of a storm remained. Blanco. My apologies. It was my fault that Lilith became so angry. Not your fault, Soyo. I'm sorry. You needn't force yourself to worry about someone such as myself. That's right. Seema's disappearance wasn't Soyo or Lilith's fault. It was her fault. She tried to strangle me to death. The both of them were guiltless. There was no reason for them to fight. The one who had caused the big change was undoubtedly me. When you want things to go to hell, just throw a row in the mix. Okay, so it was Lilith. I guess Lilith had dyed hair. And a very much different fashion style. The first guy I dated at the club was called Ando. Ando! So that's a kaiji reference. He was withdrawn and had a swell voice and seemed pessimistic. To be honest, he looked like a total doormat. Yet, he was the first of the uglies to confess to me. The whole bunch of them seemed like a gloomy, nerdy bunch. It was a shock to me. I mean, if you want to tell someone how you feel about them, you gotta be pretty brave. Though, I hadn't ever confessed to anyone myself. What kind of movie do you want to see, Ruri? Let's watch the one you want to see. Today I came to the fear of the guy. I didn't really watch movies much, and I couldn't stay awake for long ones or cheesy romantic films. I guess you could say I was alright as long as I had caramel corn. Why were sweets so damn good? Oh, I don't have one I want to see. You could choose. There was only one reason I came with Andro here on a date. Because he'd pay for everything. And that was the only reason. He had a part-time job and I had the money. I thought I might get him to buy me a brand name bag on the way back. Oh, okay. Well, let's watch this one then. Andro chose the big hit romance movie that was currently showing. Ah, this guy. He had an ugly face and liked the sugary sweet stuff too. Gross. Kimochi. Those kinds of half-assed and lukewarm tearjerkers are boring. I wonder if I should sleep in the theater. Was my smile too judging? The only thing I looked for in guys was sex and money. I didn't need their hearts. I knew that was considered cold by most, and it was against what society deemed okay. Is this why you gave me hell for just walking around the house? This is how I lived. Remember whatever people said, I probably didn't have what people called love and passion. I couldn't love another. It seems stupid to live head on. You just get depressed when you do your best and get nothing in return. I didn't want to go through the trouble. What time was it? How long had it been since breakfast? I laid on my bed, looking blankly at the wall. Actually, come to think of it, time maybe didn't exist in the world in the first place. But in the end, it wasn't worth thinking about. Nothing took on meaning here. It's the same for questions like, where am I? Who am I? Why am I here? Why was this place created? And what was I made for? A boy has a right to dream. Or how long's it been since Seema disappeared? Why did she disappear? The questions just barraged me. I wanted to believe I was guiltless. Seema disappeared. No, she might have died. Because of me. Because I was selfish and couldn't even forgive her. As a result, I made Soyo and Lilith anxious, and I made the relationship between the two of them strained. What should I do from now on? Interesting that Soyo is going to be the last one we deal with. I would think it would have been Lilith, because it seemed like you had the most, I guess you would call it chemistry. It seemed like you just kind of like gave me a hard time. But the most interactions with the main characters, so you think that would have been the last one, unless she doesn't disappear in her own chapter yet. A sound. No, it was weeping. This time, I heard it for sure. It was a girl's voice. From where? I heard a murmuring from behind the wall. In order to find the source, I cautiously stepped out of my room into the corridor. The corridor was quiet. The faint sound I heard was from behind a door that was slightly ajar. It was Lilith's room. What was she doing in there? I almost instinctively peeked inside, but then remembered how angry Lilith had been and paused. I tried my best to be sneaky, and without breathing so as not to be noticed, I peeked inside. And I was taken aback by the strange scene before me. Okay. I was utterly speechless. I couldn't look away. What was she doing? After what just happened? And she was in the room right next to mine. Thinking it wouldn't do to look, I averted my eyes. Okay. I see how it is, game. Blanco. Ah, yes. Blanco. Blanco? And you think I heard wrong. Blanco, that was me. After she stormed out, she didn't eat and just stayed in her room masturbating the whole time. And the guy she was fantasizing about was me. We've just met. I think we've been here like 1 day. No way. Rather than understand, I was bewildered. Did she ever show any affection for me up to this point? The uppity Lilith, like me. She hadn't shown me a milligram of liking. You know how these anime characters work. No, she even acted rude to me. Then what was this? Was I asleep or something? Yes, Blanco. I snapped back to reality when she moaned. What would have been the right thing to do in this situation? Should I have left and told Soyo about this? There likely wasn't a right answer. I thought that, but I decided to leave. This is so awkward. I'm just gonna walk away, far away now. But I accidentally made a sound doing it. Who? Lilith, who had noticed, ran to the door in a hurry. As soon as she saw me, her face turned bright red. Blanco. You saw it, didn't you? I'll kill you. I'll kill you right here and now. Hey, I was just passing by. I'm a passing by common writer. Button. Ben. Don't lie. What the hell's wrong with you? You making a fool of me? Jesus, you pissed me off. Apparently. Go dry, trash. Shitface, I hate you. I hate you more than anything in this whole goddamn world. There's like nothing else in this world. It's not a hard contest. Ah! Something smacked me in the stomach and I began to lose consciousness. She had kicked me. Hey, wait. This isn't a joke. Are you really... Hey, come on. No, why? My sight blurred and faded. Love was really good at kicks. I accidentally acted like a tsundere in my past, and I kicked the guy a little too hard, and it turns out all that anime-style acting actually is fairly deadly. You see, when you smack a guy with a giant mallet that came out of your hammer space, it's still quite fatal. And now you know. And that is my sin. Yuri, I like... It was after that, one after another, each of the club guys started confessing to me. Well, I knew it happened from the beginning. That's funny. I like you too, actually. Why don't we go out? It was a pain to think out the logistics, so I decided to just date them all. It'd be bad if any of them started fighting. I got them all not to mention their relationship with me, so I didn't need to worry. I got my wallets to call on, so things worked out for me. They were gullible. Too gullible. Why are men so gullible? I could just pretend to like them and they wrap around my finger right away. And they'd all blush. Was I cheating? Was I betraying Ando? I'd be born to think about something like that. First of all, was there anything to get from being stuck in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship? I didn't get it. Ah, so you got the newest pair phone. I looked at my phone laying on my bed. On the screen was all the text I'd gotten from the club boys. Tamara and Ando. They're all too gullible. Their faces are gross too. They all act how I want them to. It's hilarious. I snorted, unable to hold my laughter in. Ha ha ha! My family could probably hear from outside my room, but I didn't care. I didn't care what my mom or dad thought. I laughed when I wanted to. I cried when I wanted to. And I treated people like idiots when I wanted to. I was just honest to who I was. Was that such a bad thing? No, this is a realistic tsundere. Not the one we're encountering when she's called Lilith, but this is the real one. Because tsunderes are an anime thing, so when you just have the sun, as you would say, and then the deer, you just get a person who's just mean to you. I think Shiratori actually did that, now that I think about it. They already wrote that story, so it's kind of a throwback, if anything. Some must hella work hard to try to achieve something. It's stupid. I don't like it. It's a pain, too. Since I was born, I got everything I wanted. I had more than enough men who would gladly fulfill my sexual desires. If I needed money, I'd get some guy to open his wallet for me. I love you more than anything, really. Let's stay together forever, even after you graduate. Ando sent me a gross text. I love you more than anything. Love? I don't need love. That kind of thing's lost on me. How you doing? So, it's mighty awkward. Doesn't help I'm looking at your memories at the same time. So, yeah. How you doing? You're finally up. Jeez, don't scare me like that. When I opened my eyes, love was there. It seemed that I had lost consciousness. If I was right, Lilith had kicked me in the stomach with all her strength and I'd passed out. Did she nurse me, though she was the one who knocked me out in the first place? If so, what a weird scene. This is what it looks like. It's not like I did it for you or anything. See, I knocked you out, so I'll just take responsibility. Sorry I picked you out like that. It hurt, right? Why is the personality here so jarring with the one in your past? Was that like before you like had some big epiphany? Like you're like, wait a minute, I bet you do like Andrew. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, she's tsundere. No mistake about that. So do you remember? You saw what I was doing before, right? Yeah, I did. Ben. You're a pervert. Forget it already, please. Don't tell Soy no matter what, alright? If she knew that after I left and shut up in my room, I was feeling myself it would look bad for me. Well, obviously, nobody would be able to admit that they masturbated by themselves the whole time after the serious atmosphere we'd been in. If anything, it's more likely. Actually, it's actually not that far-fetched. I didn't respond and silence fell between us. Hey. Could you listen to a story of mine? I don't mean it as an excuse, but... what was she gonna say at a time like this? From what she came up with, I felt like she couldn't break the self-assured, perverted, tsundere older woman image she built up. What's with that suspicious look? I get that saying that isn't really like me. You see, I get sexual urges more than the average girl. Maybe more than guys do. That's why I have to do this every night. It's weird, right? I'm a weirdo, aren't I? You sound normal. But you're just like really anime, so you feel like shame about it. I guess. It's like in strong contrast to what you were. I don't even know what your character is at this point. Okay, where's the punchline? I'm not joking. I'm telling the truth, idiot. I'm being serious here. It'd be normal if she was a pubescent boy, but did that stuff happen to girls? I feel like we all have sex drives. I was caught speechless at admission that she wasn't joking. I began to doubt her sanity. I noticed when I was in college. I was in a club, you see, and I dated everyone in there. I was doing it with all the club members. I was with 4 guys at once. Guys are gullible. Stupid, right? It just takes a little attention to get them falling over my feet. And see, I'm pretty, aren't I? No, I'm not showing off. So I don't have to do anything, and still the guys keep coming. It was easy. So, I didn't need to worry about getting sex. It was convenient. The guys were guys, and I wanted to play around anyway. I mean, it's college. But I kept up relationships with them, and after that, Love stopped speaking and became quiet. Did she remember something she didn't want to? You're looking pale. Hey you. Do you not like me? I don't know, it's been 3 days. I came out of here out of like a garden void. I don't know anything in life anymore. I don't even know my own memories. The sudden topic change caught me by surprise. I looked away from Lilith. My heart skipped a beat at the serious look on her face. I just might like you. Wait, no, am I in love? Or is it a crush? I don't know. I can't say it in a word. I mean, there's only, well, now there's only 3 of us here. I feel like there's not really much competition for who you would like here. If I was honest, I didn't feel like responding to her feelings after all this. I already was nursing the wounds to my mind. Why'd she bring love into the equation? I don't know. I don't even know myself. Am I just lusting for you? Hey, tell me. The time it took me to think up a reply, Lilith grew more and more agitated. Ugh, so awkward. I want to have sex so bad. What do I do? Feeling myself enough doesn't do for me. I used to start acting like a weird tsundere. I'm weird. I'm funny in the head, and at a time like this, Hey, don't you think so too? That's enough. Kill me. Kill me right here. Right now. How do we get to, like, kill? How do we jump to sleep? I had no words for the woman going mad before me. Maybe everyone here has, like, some kind of... Well, it makes sense. This is going to a weird limbo place. So they all kind of, like, snap after some point. It was a matter of time, for me and for Lilith and for Soyo. We were forced to live in a strange place and live a strange life, not knowing who we were. And we lost the friend we made here. I don't get it. I was killed by that guy. I know that much. I mean, I remember it all. I couldn't do a thing. I was powerless. I couldn't help her. I could only silently pat her on the shoulder. It gave me a strange sense of deja vu. I know I've been here before. I'd done this for someone once before. Got my eyes on the Grand Prix. Gripping the steering, we were so tight. Who? I didn't remember. I couldn't recall. But I'm here. I'm alive and right here. Just what is this world? A world beyond human understanding. We suddenly lost ourselves here. It seemed like heaven, yet now it was hell. We lost our light. We were unable to return. Consoling the sobbing Lilith, I thought darker and darker thoughts. I couldn't look at her, so I left the room. Oh God. When she awoke, it was in a gloomy hole. She didn't understand what happened to her at first. It took Ando's appearance for her to finally grasp the situation. Ando. Such I think I was supposed to pronounce it. I can't fully remember. I remember I used to know how to pronounce it, just because I watched Kaiji and that one character was named that. I see you're awake, Ruri. I'm going to keep you in here, so you can't run away. Then we can stay together forever. Her arms and legs were both tied down and she could not move an inch. No, what the hell is this? She tried to raise her voice, but in that dark grave, only rasping groans escaped her lips to echo around her. Her voice couldn't possibly reach the outside world. I won't let you see any other guys anymore. It might be hard, but try to understand. If I don't do this, I'd have to share you with other men, wouldn't I? Hey, why? Why are you doing this? You said you liked me. I don't get you. What'd I do? No, stop. Let me out. Let me go home. Don't you understand, Ruri? I've had none of this. I want to go home. I don't want to be here forever. It's dirty and smelling gross. You cheat on me, didn't you? Not only me, but Tamora and everyone else, aren't I right? How many of us were you dating? The entire club. It doesn't matter. I can date who I want. That's technically true. How can you say that? You're my girlfriend, Ruri. You can't do that. I was the first one to date you, you know. You're awful. You betrayed my feelings for you. I was serious about you. I loved you from the bottom of my heart. How could this guy say that? Did you have fun playing with our hearts and using our wallets and bodies? Did you really find that fun? Did you really find that fulfilling? This guy was a different breed. His values and worldview were all off. He was a creep. His words were especially jarring. After all, I didn't need love or a heart. I'm fine with that. If I'm having fun, then I'm okay with that. I don't want that. I want to keep my partner's love all to myself. I don't want you to look at other guys. I want to be loved as much as I love you. Something dark fell on me. It took me a bit to realize I was dirt. We're being buried alive. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Get dirt in my mouth. Ando continued ignoring the girl. Another shovelful of dirt landed on her. You gotta be kidding. Hey, you can't pass this off as some kind of joke. Ando didn't speak. In place of his words, dirt fell upon her. Quit it. This is... No, please stop. I'll do anything. Stop already, please. I'm begging you. It would mean nothing to apologize at this point. Her pleas fell on deaf ears. Dirt rained down as if to show his stubborn will. No, I don't want to die. No. It was as if her words went in one ear and out the other. Dirt continued to fall mercilessly down. What led her to this unfortunate ending? Was it her selfishness or passion? Tears welled up in her beautiful blue eyes. It had been years since she had last cried. She hadn't suffered the least from her life up until then. She likely hadn't had any difficulties either. She was simply a wilted beacon of desire. Her writhing body covered in dirt eventually became... Soon she lost her vision beyond the current of her falling down. I feel like your backstory is a little anticlimactic. Like, yeah, being buried alive is dramatic, but this is like, it's very straightforward. There's no like real twist to it. I learned once more how powerless I was. I learned that no matter how far I reached, there were paths that I couldn't get back. That the things you've lost will never return. I didn't know the gears that kept this world ticking. I don't know its rules either. No, I actually knew a little. I lied. It was unfair. I didn't want to admit there was a life I could have saved. Blanco, I can't seem to find Lilith anywhere. Did you happen to see anything? Soyo ran to me in a hurry. According to her, Lilith was missing. Apparently she had come to her room to bring her lunch. When she saw the door was open, she peeked inside. Her room was empty. When she searched the castle for her, she couldn't find her. Could she have gone into the forest? Seema said if you enter the forest, you will never return. The forest. Did she mean the one I had come from? It was true that the forest was precipitous. There was no certainty that one could leave once entering. It was a mere miracle that I could reach the garden when I did. Why would she go in there all by herself? Did she lose hope in this world, or was she searching for Seema? It wasn't an impossibility. She loved Seema. It won't be too late, Blanco. We must search for Lilith. Ooh, major choice. Are we supposed to not look for her? Is that the thing? Ben. I guess let's look for her. I knew you would say that, Blanco. That's right. I couldn't stop myself here. If I didn't look for Lilith now, I would surely regret it. I'd ask myself why I didn't lay her on. Like I had with Seema. I could lose Lilith on top of Seema. I couldn't afford it to be at a standstill. I hurried with Soyo outside to the castle grounds. We searched the area, but did not see any open doors. Was it safe to assume she had entered the forest? Lilith. Where had she gone? What was she doing? Why did she have to cause us this much worry? Don't just go off your own like that. Lilith. I believe she went to the forest after all. It would be wise to go inside after her. I'll go. I couldn't. You mustn't go alone, Blanco. I'll go with you. Please, let me join you. Another thing. I wouldn't like to stay here all by myself. Lilith could come back while we're searching. Blanco. Plus, this is important story stuff. We can't have you involved. You're not involved in this. I admonished teary Soyo and began my way into the thick forest. I felt the same as how I had been when I first came here. The ground was muddy and the forest was dark. If I wasn't careful, my mind would succumb to despair. I could feel death right by my side. Where was she? Where were you, Lilith? I wandered the forest without direction. Was there hope to be found in this search? I wondered if it would have been better to secure a lifeline or some other protection. I began to think that after the fact. What had Lilith been thinking? Was she enacting revenge against us? Or was she trying to off herself? Had she gotten fed up with her own desires? I didn't know what had led Lilith into this forest. I had to find her and ask her myself. How long had I walked? I had become fatigued and was breathing hard. I felt as if death was before my very eyes. The fatigue set into my bones, and just when I had decided to stop walking, a white light shone into my eyes. Ah. Lilith was underneath the white sunlight that shone through the tree leaves. I expected her to shout at me like usual, instead she kept into my arms with a sad look. Blanco, it was so scary here. Why did you come? You can't leave when you come here, you know that, don't you? I thought I wouldn't see you again. No, this sounds cooler. I finally found you. Hey, you don't chase after those who leave, right? So why did you... You're a baka. Her words were angry, yet Lilith had a lonely smile on her face. Tears in her eyes. Maybe we are going to be stuck in the forest, that's why it's a bad end. It was only for a short time we could rejoice on reunion. We wandered our way around the forest without knowing the road home. How many times had the sun risen and fallen? What was Soyo doing? Was she still looking for us? Seema said if you enter the forest, you will never return. Her words had become truth. Likely we would never leave this forest again. Both Lilith and I continued to walk without food or drink, yet the forest showed no sign of going away to the castle. Lilith and I were riddled with wounds. Eventually, we became so exhausted we could no longer move. We both collapsed at the base of a large tree holding each other's hands. Hey, Blanco. There's something I still haven't told you. Want to hear it? Yeah. I was probably desperate. I was remembering how things had been my fault in the past and other bad things. And I couldn't forgive myself. My thoughts were all screwed up. So I gave up. I wanted to give it all up. I remember Seema said you can't leave this forest, so I came here on my own. It was lonely. It was all alone. In the cold, I hadn't been paying attention to the happiness that was right in front of me. That there was people who would answer to whatever dumb thing I had to say. That there were people who had big enough hearts to accept me. Guess it was because you all were so close and I didn't realize. I'm an idiot. Sorry, Soyo. I knew she left me food in the front of my door that day. Maybe she's mad at me. She was worried. Oh, I guess we won't see each other anymore. I won't ever see her again. I should have faced her myself and apologized. Man, I'm an idiot. She closed her eyes and paused for a breath, then continued. When I saw you, it actually lifted my spirits. I was surprised you came. It made me happy. I really must like you. Now I get it. I think this is the real deal. Think that we're dead. Now that my lust is in the way. I mean, I don't have the energy for anything. To get a confession at a time like this. It was like a drama or a novel. Or a visual novel. This time I knew the love was real. It wasn't lust or a misattribution of arousal. It was from the bottom of her heart that she loved me for who I was. I guess we're gonna die soon, I wanted to believe that the search I dedicated myself to had meant something. That I had helped Lilith think more positively than before. Don't let go of my hand, Blanco. Always and forever. Keep holding on. I must have loved Lilith too. That's why I could make the decision. I wanted to protect her. Blanco, sorry. Lilith had noticed her own crimes. She then had a change of heart and accepted herself. It was all too late. Thank you. It was too late for me to reply. She had already met her end. Her eyes were still slightly open. A single tear trailed down her cheek. I had no more strength left in me. The memories that had been etched into my being were slowly fading. I was losing my grip on my past. I was forgetting everything. Oh, I see. This was what it meant to die. Bad end. Moratorium. Don't try to be nice to any of the girls, because you just lead to a bad end. Gotta be selfish. Only the strong survive. The rules of nature. I'm not going to look. I recommend not following those who attempt to leave. The girl in the white surfaced in my mind. Those words had come from the first day I'd arrived here. I shouldn't follow those who leave. It was logical. If Lilith chose to leave us on her own will, it would be trouble for us to get involved. She could possibly not want us to go after her. It'd be self-centered to stop that. It might be important to consider her decision. I forced myself to hold back my worry about Lilith's situation and shook my head. That is... No, this mustn't... even Lilith has... No. Soyo's shoulders fell in despair, and with the determination in my face. I still haven't apologized to Lilith. I want to say sorry for yesterday, and yet... It wasn't Soyo's fault. So she didn't need to feel guilty. Lilith chose to leave us behind. As a result, I chose not to chase after her. Let's walk our different paths. But that wouldn't undo things. What she gave me, her clumsy kindness and her smile, I wouldn't forget that. Thank you, and goodbye. It was all my fault. It happened again. My choice had made her disappear. It was my fault that Lilith was nowhere to be found. The way things were, was it the same as her tossing me aside? It was because of me that Seema and Lilith had went away. It had been my decision, but the aftertaste was bitter. There was somewhere inside myself I was still wishing for them to pop out from nowhere. I had to carry my new crimes on these shoulders to stand alone. My conscience torturing me with knowledge of my sins, I carried my heavy feet around the castle. Where could I go? I had nowhere to run to. I had to live my life out here. I had no other option. Would I disappear just like those two had someday? I didn't want to disappear. I didn't want to become nothing. I kept walking, my mind blank. I was unsteady on my feet. I was drowning in the sin that was myself and struggling. I couldn't smile like I could before. And here I chose all this. I chose to throw her aside. I couldn't go back. Even if I made a mistake, life cruelly continued. My feet stopped in front of the staircase to the terrace. Oh, if I climbed these steps, would she be at the top? The pale girl who said that she would allow me to do whatever I liked. The mysterious girl who said I would always be free of guilt. I began to take myself up the stairs as if I was being called from above. It was as if I was expecting to find her being consoled. I was being naive. Her presence was sweet like honey. She stood there on the terrace and let you drink in this world's beautiful scenery. Her long white hair blew in the wind as she gazed above. What troubles you so? Would she forgive me? Me who had laid my hands not just one but two people's lives. I have told you this. In this place you are absolved of all your crimes. You need not feel the burden of your sins, as you are free to do as you please. Yes, I'd wait for those words. She would forgive me. I was being unfair. I was hoping that by someone telling me I was guiltless, I would feel just a little better. I was trying to set aside the fact that I tossed Lilith aside. And you need not mourn. She had chosen her own path. Vanilla's words were obvious as always, but she gave me the forgiveness I sought. The way she did it was almost as if she was sneering down upon me, who had been tarnished in sin. Your flower garden's a little different. I was about to lose consciousness. There was no one who would come to help me. Of course not. Maybe in some kind of alternate ending that was a bad end someone would, but not this route. But, because I pushed everyone away. I chose to be a loner. I guess that's how things were. I knew it ended up like this, but the predictable finale still made me sad. I still thirsted for something. Collapsing, I dried up and shouldered under the weight of the thirst of something I couldn't sate myself. I could no longer move. I thought I'd like to at least feel good before I kicked the bucket, but that didn't happen for me either. I'm sure it was hard to look at. I'd learned to masturbate in middle school. Living satisfied me, no man could steal my heart. Loveless affection, words without feeling. It was lonely, it was boring, and it was frustrating. I didn't need empty love. I didn't want that. I want anyone really to understand me fully. Got that plastic love. If I wasn't loved, if the love of it never did reach my heart, it would shrivel and die. It felt good to wet my dried heart on my own. It wasn't satisfying, but it kept me from the edge, at least until I would find someone who understood me. It wasn't enough. I needed more. And soon enough, I started treating people like they were stupid. I hurt people without a second thought. My fraying heart began to dry the land that surrounded it. I suddenly noticed a flower that bloomed before me. This flower. It was a flower Seema had been growing, wasn't it? If I remember right, it was the flower that grew in heaven, according to her. Now, I felt like I could understand why she tried so hard to keep it alive. You wanted to believe this was heaven, right? You wanted to change this hell that withered gardenias into heaven by your own hands, didn't you? You tried all by yourself. You did something as incredible as that, didn't you? I knew you wanted to believe that we'd arrive at heaven. If you had suffered in life trying your best, you wouldn't want the path to lead to hell, huh? I always was laughing and making someone else out to be the fool. I made you out to be a fool. Seema, even though you always tried your best, I did the same to Ando and the others I cheated on too. But you see, even if you try, it won't happen. You'll never get back what you put in. That was why I put the people who worked hard down. I wanted to show them that it was pointless to try. I thought it was ugly when people tried hard. But was that really the truth? Maybe you're right, Seema. This place might have been heaven. I was wrong. It wasn't my place to talk about trying hard. After all, I never put my all into anything when I was alive. I was trying to justify not trying hard by treating other people like they were stupid. I acted like I was better without giving any effort. No, I was the one who could do anything. I held other people back, and I could only put those who tried to move forward down. I'm the stupid one. I like feeling superior. If it looked good to look down on others, so it made me feel strong. I also didn't mind getting attention. I put too much faith in my beauty and charm and began to think I was special. I thought I could get away with anything. I had developed that endless sea of self-centeredness within myself. How pitiful was I from other people's eyes? It was without a doubt that it was myself that had been denied living forever in the castle of heaven. It was my choice to step into the forest of hell. I thought I'd get forgiveness here, but I guess it would be the same no matter where I go. The words, "you get what you deserve," fitted me perfectly at the time. You thought so too, didn't you, Seema? Now you return to Vanilla. Weird. Why? I never thought flowers were pretty before. Do things really change this much when you're on death's door? I wanted to see Seema. I could just see her. I wanted to at least say sorry. I knew I couldn't see her anymore. I knew my wish wouldn't be granted. You always tried your best. Sorry I put you down for that. Sorry.